This ring can become very slippery.
So where's the Reggie Johnson right hook that KO'd William Guthrie when Guthrie came at him?
Roy Jones has a little height advantage, and he spreads his legs apart. When he's jumping too much, he gets out of the way.
And now a fusillade of punches by Jones. Pop, pop, pop. Johnson ducking and slipping, fires a right hand.
Now he's allowing Johnson to step back on his left foot. There you go. He brings him back into the middle of the ring. This is where he's got the advantage. Reggie touches him on the shoulder with his right hand every now and then just to know where he is.
One element of the Jones plan he has completely fulfilled here. Told us that he would try in every round to remind Johnson who the man is. He wanted psychological domination. He's had it ever since round one. And you heard Don Turner between rounds pleading with his fighter to be more aggressive.
There you go, a good right hook that by Reggie Jackson.
By Reggie Johnson.
Johnson, I'm sorry. Reggie got in a good right hook. It wasn't hard, but it made Roy Jones understand you're still in a boxing match.
It halted the Jones combination flurry.
He touches him here and there. He keeps that right hand too low.
Meaning Reggie Johnson.
Reggie Johnson, he drops it. If you're going to drop it low, then put it on the side of your chin that your hand is low, that you're carrying the hand low on. Jones has succeeded in allowing Reggie to get some confidence in the latter round. That's something he shouldn't.
Well, in this round also.
Yeah. Oh, his confidence would never wane. He got up from the floor, didn't run and hide. When you're in the light heavyweight, you just can't go on one punch. You got to finish it up. Come back with that hook.
Left-right combination by Jones. Another left by Jones. Another busted right hand across the chops of Johnson. And this despite the fact that the last minute of the round has been Johnson's best minute in quite some time. The 1960s were among the most volatile and turbulent decades in American history. In the world of sport, no event would so transcend the playing fields as the 1968 Summer Olympics. In August, Sports of the 20th Century presents Fists of Freedom, a documentary which looks back at the origin, the individuals, and the after effects of the moment when African-American athletes changed the face of sports forever.
You got to get closer and let your hands go, man. Do you understand?
You were in Mexico City when...
You got to get close and throw combinations, man.
Tommy Smith and John Carlos held their fists up on the victory stand.
I was there.
How aware were you of their actions, and how did it affect you?
It affected the Olympic teams more than anything. Inside the village, it had a shock effect. No one wanted to lose a teammate. And we felt like our teammate had been kicked off the team. It scared us. We were hurt. No matter who you are, we didn't understand the media aspect of it.
Did it influence your decision to wave little American flags after you won your gold medal, or was that something you would have done anyway?
Well, I think even Tommy Smith and John Carlos really were there because of that flag. Don't forget that. They had something else to say. These were patriotic guys.
Harold, how'd you have it through 6?
Jim, I think this is incredible. 6-0, 60-52, Roy Jones Jr. I mean, I've never seen such an incredible performance of speed and power. He's fighting a good light heavyweight. This is no slouch in there, and he's doing everything. Doubling his left hooks, great right hand leads, pounding away at the body, good defense, good ring generalship, stays away from Johnson's shots. I think it's all Roy Jones, and I think it's a heck of a performance he's putting on against a real good fighter.
We showed you CompuBox numbers coming into the fight that showed Reggie Johnson had landed close to 40% of his punches against his last two opponents. Tonight, 33 out of 205, 16% connect percentage. Just can't get anything going against Jones, and Jones is landing more than half his punches.
Jones is starting to use the left jab at the beginning of the round. He jab, double jab, and things of that nature also. Just doesn't have the confidence once he gets the guy on the ring, on the
On the ropes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Seem to want to pull him back off every time. Now, if you're Reggie, you exploit that. Do what you're going to do and go back to the ropes.
Reggie Johnson with a hard right hand to the body. Jones pops and moves.
Reggie is going to the body, but it's not about wearing the body down. He's trying to load this guy into a hard, straight left hand. Now, when Roy Jones Jr. gets on the rope, he doesn't have any room to plant and further move his right foot. So then he's vulnerable.
Now he gets back into the middle of the ring, where he's been able to land that right-hand lead at will.
Yeah, because he's able to spread that leg. The right leg gets further and further back. Reggie's corner told him to get on this guy. They were exactly correct. It takes courage.
And after using the right-hand lead almost exclusively for the first 5 rounds, Jones in the last 2 rounds begins, as George Foreman points out, to land the left jab. And that sets up stuff like this.
And a good body shot by Roy Jones for the first time. He's going to the body.
Sends Johnson into the peekaboo stance, fires combinations. We've seen what he can do to the body.
And you notice Johnson on the rope. He's able to exploit Roy Jones Jr. Gets back to the middle of the ring. Nothing there. Got to hit him and slide back into that uncertain territory.
Reggie Johnson just trying to land something, throwing soft punches to the chest of Roy Jones.
Oh, don't put so much rolling on him. It's dangerous out here,
We'll get it up.
It's getting dangerous, but out here it's getting dangerous.
One here, bro. Go ahead, shoot. All over here. All right.
Leaning to his
Man to the back.
leaning to his left. He goes southpaw. He might be able to get a hook in. He leaning over to the left a lot. Try and see what you can see. Try to get a right uppercut in too, or right hand. It's gonna nullify his hook. If you turn southpaw, you're gonna be further away from his hook, and then you're out with your jab next to him.
Get on him when you hit him.
And another look at Roy Jones's combination punching ability as Reggie Johnson comes back with some stuff to the body. And Jones says, yes, those are my ribs. Now here's my right hand. Reggie Johnson averaging only 33 punches per round and landing fewer than 20% of them. Now tries to start off round 8 with a rally.
You notice whenever he's up close throwing shots, nothing happened to him. You got to keep on him, stay right on him. It's a safety zone there. You get a corner man, you get coaches, they're supposed to study the films, find out your safety zones, find out your power shots, what can happen in what spot of the gym. You don't follow a guy everywhere.
Reggie Johnson has been on the canvas twice, knocked down in the first, knocked down in the third, both times by straight right hands. He was also cut over the right eye in the first round, maybe by Jones's straight right hand, maybe by an unintentional headbutt. Hard to tell.
There it goes again. That's the safety zone. You want to keep that up. If you're Reggie, stay right there. Don't get back only to rest.
In the late rounds of his battle with Lou Duval at Madison Square Garden last
Hook
summer,
to the body hurt Reggie.
yeah, that was a hard left-hand body shot.
Right there by Roy Jones.
Yep. I was about to
Reggie is
say,
trying to recuperate. He's moving around because of it.
and Jones fires his straight right upstairs, trying to take advantage. Now popping the jab.
Roy was able to allow him to recuperate, so now he's going to go right back to getting him into the ropes.
There used to be a time when Roy Jones didn't want to fight southpaws, didn't like fighting. Now he's gotten so used to it, he's creating more and more ways of attacking against the southpaw.
You notice he never changes anything about himself. He doesn't look to plant his left foot anywhere. He just boxes as though he's fighting a regular right-hander.
Fourth straight time he's defended his title against the southpaw. He's not really worried about it anymore. I was going to say, George, that in the later rounds of his battle with Lou Duval last summer in Madison Square Garden in New York, Jones clearly got bored and distracted. And and it helped lead to the first knockdown of his career as Duval was able to knock him down. Johnson has to be hoping that Roy's mind will wander again as he has completely dominated the first 7 rounds.
Another thing you can pay some attention to, the referees. Whenever Reggie gets Roy on the ropes, the referee comes in and say, get back. Now, wait a minute. You can still fight on the ropes.
All right, let's go. Get out, fellas. Get out.
Star-studded crowd in Biloxi. Evander Holyfield across the ring in the middle of your shot, looking right at you. And farther over to the left extreme edge of the screen, right behind Roy Jones, is Michael Jordan. Everybody loves to come to boxing matches.
That's good. Didn't see nothing on that side.
No, we're in Mississippi.
Mississippi.
Glamour, the pump.
M-I-S-S-I, S-S-I, P-P-I.
Put some on top of his head.
Let's try to put three together at least.
Body punishment, George.
Yeah, Roy Jones had started just whenever he wanted to, but that's his calling card. Throw hard shots to the body. None of those things hurt.
Seconds. Let's go, corner.
When your corner telling you to go.
Norma Johnson's son, Reggie, way down in the fight. Way behind on the scorecards. Roy Jones leaking about a gallon of water onto the ring canvas right now. I don't know how they're going to keep their footing in this corner of the ring, because Roy came back in as though he had just emerged from the shower.
Reggie picks up the pace a little bit, trying to find a way.
Pop, pop. Jones's hand speed still there. Hard right to the body by Reggie Johnson. And the blood begins to flow again next to Reggie's right eye. How about the cut in the corner of the eye like that, George? Bothersome because the blood trickles in?
Yes, bothersome. And also, people don't understand that losing blood in a boxing match sure can make you weak.
Even from the small cut?
Small cut. Every bit of your body, you've been training for months. You haven't been bleeding in the gym. You need every drop. Only he can make Roy Jones lose his temper a little bit and just get wild like that when Reggie's in business. You want him to keep doing that. That's the only chance that Reggie can get something in himself.
Partially blocked right hand shot. Jones loading up right hands and trying to look for a knockout here.
For a moment, he lost his concentration and started winging them a little without any accuracy. And that's when you want to counter.
But Reggie didn't counter.
Reggie, like I said, the losing of the blood, the knockdowns, bended his legs a few times.
The discouragement, the confusion, the blinding hand speed of Roy Jones. The counter punches that hurt. The fact that it's a hard sport, not an easy sport. The fact that you train months to get yourself ready for disappointment like this, if you're Reggie Johnson, it's tough.
Yeah, but the fight goes on. You got to think like the hare and the tortoise. Hey, let the rabbit get away. Win the race, thinking he's winning. When he goes to sleep, pass him up. And that was the first jab that Reggie was able to land that time.
Hard right hand lands for Jones. Little left hook behind it. Straight right hand lands again. Johnson not punching as Jones goes to work.
Those body shots, they hurt.
Wins the 9th round by about 6 miles.
All right, we running around. That's all I want. All I want. Right here. Let's keep running around. Stand coming out. Right, Reggie?
You got 3 more rounds, man. Come on. Let's go, man. You got 3 more rounds. You want to be champion of the world, man? Come on, let's go.
Okay, Reggie. All right. Go here. Let's do it. Need water.
Feeling good? Are we going to the 10?
Yeah, big shot.
Yeah.
In 2 separate rounds here tonight by CompuBox numbers, Reggie Johnson has landed 1 punch in 1 round, 2 punches in another round. Jones, you'll recall, once held Vinny Pazienza to 0 connects for a complete round. That's the only time in the history of CompuBox punch counting that a fighter held an opponent without a connect in an entire round. Letterman, how do you have it through 9?
Jim, you know, those numbers only point out the fact that you have to give Roy Jones credit for great defense as well as ring generalship and great punching. 90-79, 9 rounds to nothing. Roy Jones Jr. I think he's just pitching a shutout. I think it's one of the best performances I ever saw him put on against the current reigning world champion. I mean, this is some performance by Jones. Quick, he's got as much speed now as he did in the first round.
Only the 2 2-point rounds.
Jim, let me point out something. I've just warned Roy Jones for measuring Reggie Johnson. Some referees will let you get away with it as long as you keep the glove closed. Elmo's not letting Roy measure Reggie Johnson. He wants him to pull the left arm back.
George? Jones just so much quicker.
I think the biggest mistake for Reggie was to get in that knockout in the last to win the world championship by way of knockout. Started to put a lot of confidence into power that just was not there tonight.
Well, but he was perfectly satisfied to go for the decision against Will Taylor a few months ago to set this fight up. Maybe he felt coming in tonight as though his best chance was going to be to knock Roy out.
Yeah, because it seems to me all night he's been waiting to counter and get in one big shot.
Johnson was very respectful of Jones in pre-fight publicity. When he came to news conferences to promote the fight, as was the case here in the past week, he said, hey, I'm the underdog and I ought to be the underdog. Everybody knows who Roy is, but I'm planning to win the fight in big style.
Roy is totally dropping his hands as though he has no regard, no respect for Reggie now.
Well, I think he feels as though he's taken all the snap out of Reggie's punches with his body punching and the punishment he's dealt out.
And he still possesses his speed. I'm Reggie, put my feet together and start walking this guy down, throwing hard shots.
Low blow by Johnson. Jones points it out to Adolph. Adolph properly warns Reggie to keep him up.
You see, when you're fighting a guy and he spreads his legs, he's farther and farther away from you. What do you want to do? Don't spread yours also. Bring those feet together and walk them down, keeping the feet no more than 1 foot apart from one another.
Looks like it's a lesson Johnson will have to learn for another fight. Gruesome numbers in only 1 round of the fight as Reggie Johnson landed in double figures by CompuBox punch count.
You got 2 rounds left in you, man.
He got to catch up. We ain't got to catch up.
Don Turner wants to know if Reggie's got 2 rounds left in him.
Just keep your arm busy like you did that round. Make a mistake, throw some big stuff. It works.
It's step close every time. You understand? Bing.
Boy, Larry Merchant would have something to say about right now.
He's saying it at home.
Call us up, Larry.
Elsewhere in Mississippi, at the United States Women's Open Golf Championships, Reggie Johnson's punch stat numbers would make a pretty good scorecard. He'd be the only player in the field with a hole-in-one.
I was saying earlier, when a puncher spreads his leg, don't you spread yours also. You bring your feet closer together and march him down.
You all right? Huh? All right, hold on. Fox, let's go.
See how far Reggie's left hand is from Roy Jones?
Yeah.
Brings his foot up just a little closer. Bring it up a little closer. Don't spread your legs.
Brings his foot up closer and goes to the body with the left hand.
All right, let's go. Get out.
He's in business.
Not gonna punch. Get out. Let's go.
Continuing to add polish to what has been a brilliant, dominant performance against Reggie Johnson so far. Johnson, a seasoned professional, has to be totally realistic about the scorecards, looking for some way to find a knockout opportunity.
I think the crowd made Roy Jones start picking up the punches.
You think the crowd was too quiet for his
crowd started to boo just a little bit, and he didn't like that. He's a performer like anyone else, like any other rapper. I want the crowd to boo you.
Right, let's go.
Pounding Johnson back into the ropes with right hands.
Body punching this time.
Don't hold. Let's go, fellas. Let's go. Get out.
A spirited bid to try to knock Reggie out in the 12th round.
Yeah, he's conserving his energy right now for something. He didn't expel too much energy in the middle rounds, right?
Round 11 will come to a close. Another dominant performance by Jones.
Okay, it's your round, baby. Wipe that floor up. On here, baby. You want to go on your back? It's your round. They can find you. You can't win unless you knock you out, baby. On the back, dog. I know it.
Talk to me, Nigel. Last round. Relax, don't shake it.
Last round, man. Come on, Reggie. Last round.
Last round, champ. Come out and touch gloves, okay?
Okay.
Last round, champ. Come out and touch gloves.
Hey, baby. All right, Joseph.
Reggie Johnson has never had a 12th round knockout in his career. In round 11, by CompuBox numbers, he landed 2 out of 32 punches, another terrific golf score. And Roy Jones was relaxed enough to say hello to the round card girl as she passed by his corner.
Means he's paying attention to the rounds, huh?
There you go. He was pleased to see that it was round 12, I guess. So here's the last stanza of what has been so far a virtuoso demonstration of the most incomparable set of talents in the sport of boxing.
One thing I can say about Oscar De La Hoya, a fighter's going like this, he will take a chance. He doesn't care. He'll go for a knockout.
Hey, listen, you used the right word for De La Hoya earlier. His courage is proven, and few fighters have had more chances to prove it because of the tough circumstances he's been in.
De La Hoya is high on my list. I think number 10 as far as courage, as far as everyone else being number 7 and 8.
Roy Jones, however, has all of these gifts in his arsenal. And now Jones choosing whether to go all out in an effort to close the show with a flourish, or simply taking what will be an overwhelmingly easy decision, while Reggie Johnson continues to look for an opportunity to land one overwhelming, life-changing shot.
You know, Muhammad Ali was kind of like that. Get ahead on a fight. Never wanting to hurt the other guy too much.
Well, there's so much moisture in Jones's corner, it's not surprising that Johnson went down. That was another hard right-hand lead by Roy Jones.
Roy Jones has got a little mercy in his gloves, too.
Now Reggie Johnson wants to fire the jabs.
I think Roy Jones is saying to himself, look, this guy didn't disrespect me. Stayed in his place. I'm just going to be satisfied and just winning the fight, because there were some opportunities for him to really hurt Reggie. He didn't do it.
Jones appreciates professionalism, and he was quoted several times before this fight saying, hey, I respect Reggie. He's a champion and a pro fighter and somebody who's really good. I'm just going to beat him.
He's doing the old mouse game now. Hit your hole.
Punch inside. Don't just wrestle. Let's punch inside.
Reggie Johnson talking to Jones now as we come down the stretch.
Reggie's mom and dad can be proud. He finished. Got up and kept fighting.
Let's go. Get out. Break it clean. Break it clean.
They could have been proud even if he were knocked out. There's no embarrassment in losing to as great a fighter as Roy Jones Jr. And a little air of anticlimax for the crowd as they feel they've known who the winner would be since round one. Probably most were hoping to see a knockout as the icing on the cake, but Reggie Johnson able to go the distance, although overwhelmed by the multiple talents of Jones. Here's the hard right hand and the slip in the Jones corner.
There you go.
This close to being a knockdown, Roy? I mean,
there was power right behind it, but the slip was what it was all about.
Freudian slip, me calling you Roy. Your brother Roy, seated over here at ringside. Your buddy Roy up here in the ring.
Just don't call me too late for dinner.
No one ever has, have they?
Not yet.
And some highlights now of the 12 rounds of dominance by Jones against Reggie Johnson. It started in round number one. Straight right hand, knockdown. And then in round three, more of the same. This one will be a left hand to set it up, and then the other straight right, knockdown again. And then through the closing rounds, there were some brutal body shots. Here's in round four, more of Jones with the right hand. And that brutal body shot with the left hand in round 8.
Number one, I told y'all.
Hard to imagine that he lost a round. Let's go to Michael Buffer to hear the scores.
Ladies and gentlemen, we go to the scorecards. All three judges, Paul Cita, Koba Jesus, and Chuck Hassett, scored the bout 120 to 106 for the winner, who is now the unified light heavyweight champion of the world from Pensacola, Florida, Roy Jones Jr.
Final CompuBox numbers, and these will be as lopsided as any you've ever seen. Jones outlanding Johnson by 224 punches. Jones throwing 140 more punches than Johnson. Johnson landing at a connect percentage of 13%, about 1/3 the rate at which he was landing punches against other fighters coming in. And 52% connect percentage for Roy. Roy, you getting a look at these total punch numbers. You're familiar with this stuff from...
When you get 30 years old, you know, sometimes things seem a little different. But first, I'd like to thank God for giving me the opportunity, for blessing me to come out and perform the way I do. I love everybody. I'd like to say what's up to all the troops over in Kosovo. Happy birthday to all my friends around the world. Happy Mother's, Father's Day, anything I might have missed because I've been off the air for a while. But I really enjoy performing for my people. I really love fighting. I really enjoy doing what I do, and I love when I have good competition. If Larry was here, Larry would say, Roy, did he hurt you at any time in the fight? Larry, nah, he didn't hurt me. He got heavy hands, but he's much too slow for me. Do you feel it? Do you feel as though fighting all the left-handers got you properly prepared for Reggie Johnson? Well, you know, it's kind of like I know how to fight any handed guy. It don't make a difference if it's left-handed, right-handed. I know how to do what it takes to win. So when Roy Jones comes out there to do what it takes to win. And that's all Roy's about. What's up, Big George?
Any other Larry questions you know of at this point?
Larry probably got a lot of them for me, but I answer them when I see him. But I knew those would be two. So I did that for my boy Larry, because Larry, all right, Larry has learned to love me, you know, and I really appreciate that.
Well, there are a lot of people who are learning to love you and your talent. This was a big occasion. I know there was special satisfaction in the first round knockout of Montel Griffin when you were avenging that disqualification. Right. This was as great a performance as you could possibly have put together for 12 rounds in our eyes. You agree?
Yeah, because you got to think about it. Anytime you bring somebody that think they can beat me, I love it. And I like Reggie. I enjoy Reggie coming. My father worked with Reggie and got Reggie real good, but the one time I sparred with Reggie, I knew I was much too fast for Reggie. That's why I sparred one round and got down, because I knew I could beat him. My father didn't think we'd fight, but I knew we'd fight. And, you know, sometimes, like I said, God tells people things through other sources. So God was telling me that this day would come, so I was prepared for it. I knew I just had to be in good shape. Thank for the basketball. Basketball got me excellent shape. Thank Rex Morgan and the Gulf Coast Sun Dogs, because they helped me. They worked hard. We ran a lot, and that took my mind off of boxing, which didn't make it so boring for me to get prepared for this fight.
Yeah, it's good to do 9 different things. Now, was there a temptation in the later rounds, because the crowd got a little bored, was there a temptation in the later rounds to risk a little more and go for the knockout?
A big temptation, but that's where that self-discipline comes in. You have to be self-disciplined. That's what I got. That's why, like Ice Cube say, I'm a vet. You know, I've been doing this thing for 20 years. I know how to keep my composure, maintain. I came in the fight, I had a bruised rib from training, but I didn't complain. I didn't say nothing to nobody because I don't have excuses. You know what I'm saying? I came to win. My mother.
Somebody managed to bruise your rib in training?
Well, actually what happened was I got caught. I threw a hook and I got through a body shot and it caught me turned wrong, but I didn't stop. He didn't know he bruised my rib because I don't care. Because nothing's going to stop Roy Jones when Roy Jones comes to win. Bodyhead Entertainment coming out. I got a new CD coming out about August, so look on my website. You can get that too. You heard a little bit of it tonight.
And speaking of websites, we asked a question on our HBO Boxing website tonight, which was, of course, if Roy beats Reggie Johnson, would you like to see him go up and campaign as a heavyweight? Here are the results. We had more than 6,000 people vote. 59% said yes. 41% said no. What about your vote?
My vote is whatever the most people want. If people want to see me fight a heavyweight fight, and there's a chance to fight for 6 titles in one night, of course you know Roy Jones Jr. is going to accept the challenge. I'm not afraid to fight anybody. I'm not afraid to fight anywhere, anytime. I don't care. I don't have excuses. I'm very disappointed in the fact that Roberto Garcia thought that we were setting him up to take a decision from him.
We told the story at the beginning of the evening about Garcia leaving.
That really hurt me, but I had to come in and perform extra hard for Smoke to let Smoke know that just because things happen to you like that in life, you know, God gives us downfalls to find out how badly we want to achieve our goals. And that was just another downfall that God put in his way so that he can make sure that when Smoke gets an opportunity, he will be ready.
You'll keep working to help your buddy Derek Gainer get a title shot.
That was my main reason for taking this fight, because I wanted Smoke to get a title shot. So when the fight fell through, I guess you know it crushed my dream.
So it was more about Smoke than about you unifying the light heavyweight championship.
All that was for Smoke. All that was for Smoke. You know, that really, it didn't mean much to me. I know I'm the best fighter in the world. I know can't nobody beat me when I'm on my game. I had nothing to prove. I was doing that for Smoke Gainer.
And you had something to prove.
And all my other guys. I got Johnny Augustus right, all my rap guys. I'm doing that for all these people.
If you had something to prove, you would have proved it tonight. Roy, thank you very much. Congratulations. Former light heavyweight champion Reggie Johnson here.
Thank you, man. Thank you.
Hand speed, second and none, baby.
Thank you, man. Appreciate it.
Reggie, you're a pro, but you were in against a buzzsaw. I mean, you got knocked down in the first, you got knocked down in the third. From that point forward, you had to be looking for a big shot.
Well, you know, that first fight, he didn't even hurt me. I kind of seemed like I slipped a little bit. The second fight was a good, legitimate shot. It stunned me. But, you know, I recuperated real quick. I got to get a man his props. Superior hand speed, and my whole thing was trying to time him. And, you know, I would be foolish to just try to run in there, because this guy's hand speed is unbelievable.
As the rounds went went by, you were landing fewer and fewer punches, and it seemed as though you must have just been waiting for the one opportunity for him to make a mistake.
Well, not only that, I'm going in there with caution because, like I tell you, the punch that gets you is the one you don't see. So, you know, my thing was to strategize and get inside and try to, like, pit-pat and catch Roy with something big, maybe with my big right hook. But, you know, his hand speed, you know, this guy, he do a lot of things wrong, but his hand speed makes up for everything.
Hey, listen, you're a student of the game. Don Turner, you're a student of the game. Our website viewers, people who voted there, they want to see Roy go up and campaign as a heavyweight. You think he can do damage as a heavyweight?
Well, you know, conceive it, believe it. The human mind is a powerful thing. We can do anything that we conceive in our mind and have the faith to do. So, I mean, you know, if Roy decided to do that, you know, I'm pretty sure he had the hand speed and he's smart enough to do it. I think the only thing I liked tonight was matching his hand speed. I just couldn't, you know, I thought I could come in and make up with that with my timing, but I just couldn't do it.
You train Evander Holyfield. Could Roy Jones hold his own against Evander Holyfield?
You know, I don't think so. You know, Roy Jones is a very, very good fighter. Awful lot of speed. I don't think he's strong enough for a guy like Evander. You know, in spite of his hand speed, Holyfield got good hand speed too. And Holyfield would just press him. I think he's just too big for him.
Well, we'll see what happens. Don, Reggie, thank you very much for your time and the professional effort. Hey, listen, it's our privilege to have you. All right? We'll have a final word on what happened here in the ring in Biloxi in just a minute. Right now, let's look ahead to some more upcoming programs here on HBO.